Alright, so I'll show you a video here how to install Android TV on your laptop. And of course, this is going to be, see, if you've got an old TV lying around and you'd like to have it as a smart TV, of course you can then go ahead and just plug your laptop from the HDMI port or your digital out and plug it inside the TV, and then you've now got yourself a smart TV running from the laptop. And of course, in the laptop's got built-in Bluetooth Wi-Fi. You can run yourself a keyboard for sitting back on the couch. This got a mouse integrated into it, and you can also connect up your gaming controllers, things like that. So this video here, what we're going to do is cover, this is actually probably the easiest and quickest setup, but this is basically for anyone that has a processor above an i3. Okay, so if you've got an i5, i7, this video right now is for you. For the people that have got an i3 or less, a Core 2 Duo, something like that. The next videos I'll do for the lower processor laptops. So basically, yeah, this one's for anyone i5, so anything above an i3, so your i5s, and it is the easiest setup. But of course, if you've got an older laptop, maybe you're actually running a laptop as your TV, maybe you live off grid, you don't have a TV, and you'd like to have the option of having Android TV on your laptop, well, this is going to be the video for you. And also, if you've got an old TV, you want to turn it into a smart TV, this is also the video for you. So I'm going to show you a few different ways of setting up. Of course, as I say, this first way here is going to be the easiest and quickest setup. The next video, I'm going to show you how you can set up if you've got an old laptop lying around and you want to have your own Android TV box as a permanent thing. You can do that with one of your old laptops. We can set it up as a permanent device. Or maybe you've just got the older laptop and you're using that as well. So I'm going to show you a couple different methods of setting this up. Okay, so let's get to it. So of course, there's your Android TV. Well, we're actually in Google TV on the Android box at the moment. So we'll go down here. So we'll go to the home button. Oops, capture. And of course, the good thing is doing it on, if you have got a high processor, i5, i7, I also advise, if you're going to do it this way, you do need 16 GB or above on your RAM size, okay? If you're someone that's only got an 8 GB, you need to watch the other videos. There'll be links to them at the end of this video, so there'll be a link up the top somewhere, or somewhere bouncing around, and that'll tell you the for the other setup. And basically that's for, as I say, if you've only got an 8 GB RAM, or if your processor's an i3 or both i3 and 8 GB, you want the next videos. But let's say you've got a high-end device. Of course, what we've got here, here's all our things here. Right, going to here, so I've got some open windows. So you'll see it's all up and running. Okay, I'm just going to clear all that. We're just going to get out here and I'll show you how to set all this up. Alright. I'm just going to shut this down. Alright, so you see here I'm using VirtualBox. Okay, and that's how you want to be doing on anything that i5 and above. So set up for that, there's a few ways around it. So even if your i3 setup, you're going to need all these things here. So, well, actually, you're not going to need VirtualBox, but anything i3 above, so your i5s and that. Download yourself VirtualBox here. Alright, and then of course you want to have a Android TV operating system. So you've got a few different options. Just type in Android TV OS. Alright, you've got a few different options there of different places where you can get it. I won't go, and you just have a wee look and you can choose what operating system you want to go for. Okay, next thing you want to do, of course, yeah, that's only later on. Like if you're on the i3s and that, you also want to make sure, so for the next video, if you're going to fast forward to the end and look for the i3s and Core Duo setup, okay, what you're going to want to do is get yourself Rufus or Ventoy or a Berliner Etcher, or whatever one you're comfortable with using. If you haven't used any before, your best setup's going to be either Rufus or Ventoy. Now, that's just going to be so we can make a bootable Ventor does multi-boot, so you can put a few operating systems on one USB. Rufus, it's going to write the whole USB. Okay, but it's just going to make a bootable file, and that's for later on. So that's for the other people. Right, so back to this one. So VirtualBox you need, download that. All right, and then once you've got VirtualBox downloaded, you'll come in and open it up. Alright, so you'll see I've already installed Android TV there, but I'm going to show you the setup anyway. So what you want to do is, if you're new to this, I'm going to show you step by step. If you're not new to this, you know what to do. You've downloaded your operating system, you know how to use VirtualBox, so you're into it, you know how to set it up. Now, those of you that don't know how to set it up, okay, just go into a new device, okay, and name it Android TV. Yeah, so I mean I've got Android TV 2 because I've already got Android TV. This is to show you the setup. Alright, now this is why I was saying you need a computer that's got a decent RAM, because of course we want our Android TV box to have a good amount of RAM. The more RAM we've got and the better CPUs we've got on there, more CPUs we've got on there, the faster our Android TV box is going to run. Okay, and of course with VirtualBox you can only take half of whatever your RAM size is. Or here just a little bit over. So of course we're going to make this Android TV box have 10 GB of RAM, and we're going to create a virtual hard drive. Okay, you can go into the guided mode, but of course if you're watching this, there's no need for you to just do what I'm doing. Okay, go to create. Now I'm not actually going to do a disk image. Okay, we're going to create an actual proper virtual hard disk. All right, now the size of that, just depending on what you're actually wanting. If you're going to put a whole heap of stuff on here, you can make it 60 GB if you've got room, depending on what your hard drive size is, alright? But for this one, we're just going to make it a 20 GB. We're going to say fixed size. I mean, you can start off with a lower size and say dynamic, and what that will do is, if your drive fills up, it will add more, but I like to do fixed size, no mucking around with stuff then. Right, so just go into create, and that's going to create the virtual drive we need. Okay. Alright, so let it do its thing. So here we've got 25 seconds, oh no, 1 minute. So we'll come back once that's finished. Depending on your system, I mean, you might be taking 5 minutes. If you've got an i7, you might only be taking a minute. So we'll come back once that's finished there, and I'll show you the rest of the setup. So it's finished creating itself there. So you'll see we've got it down there, Android TV 2. So to set up, just go into settings here. Make sure you've got it highlighted down here, and then go into your settings. I've got to change a few things just to optimize this so it's a lot really fast. Alright. So no, we don't want any of that. No. Okay, so don't worry about any of that. Alright. What you want to do is go into system. Alright, our memory. So that's our RAM. You can see so that can be changed anytime the system's actually off like it is at the moment. You can rechange that to find whatever one you want. Now of course, as I said, if you're on i5 or i7, of course here I can only allocate 2 CPUs to it, because I've only got 4 CPUs in total. Now you want to enable PA, this one here. Okay, now if you've got an AMD graphics card in your laptop, you'll want to be checking that one as well. Alright, acceleration, yeah. Alright, oh, here we are, and enable this one, sorry, that one there. Okay, now you want to go into display, wind that right up to 128. Enable 3D, yes. So even with people without AMD graphics, this will give whatever graphics to VirtualBox that's on your computer. Alright, so we want that. Now just go into storage, and this is where you want to put over your operating system. So yours will be in your downloads folder, because you would have just downloaded it off the internet. Okay, so that's the drive that we just created. Alright, and this here's the optical drive. There's 2 ways of inserting it. We can do it manually here, or you can just go into boot up and it will give you the option on the very first boot up. If you make any muck ups, you won't get a second chance. It's only that very first boot up, okay? But so we're just going to do it here anyway. So what you want to do, once that screen's come up, you click on there, come over here to that picture of your disk, click on that, go choose a disk file. Okay, now for me it's on desktop, so there's Android TV, so we're going to click on that. Yours will be in your downloads folder if you've just downloaded it. But I mean, I advise, take it out of your downloads and actually put that folder wherever you want it in the future. Like you might have operating systems folder, and keep it in there before you do the setup, okay? Because if you move it afterwards, when it goes to find it to boot, it's not in the file in the downloads folder because you moved it. So if you ever have problems with VirtualBox and things not booting, it could be because you've moved the actual OS, the image file. All right. So put that wherever you're wanting it, where it's going to be for keeps. All right. So, all right. So wherever you've put that file, yeah. So just click on it. Say open. Okay. So now that's been put in the image drive there. All right. Now another thing to just take note of is when we actually do the first startup, that's fine. But after we've done the installation, before you do another reboot, come in here and untick optical and floppy. Okay, we don't need floppy now. Okay, so you want to untick them because after we've installed it, it's going to be on the hard drive and you want it to boot just as a operating system as normal. Okay, you don't want it to have to go into reinstall, and you don't want to have to just go in virtually every time and all your data is wiped every time. Okay, so if you ever find you're in loops of every time you go into your VirtualBox, it's asking you to reinstall everything again, it's because you haven't come back in here after you've installed it on your drive and untick optical. Okay, so what it's doing is loading from the optical image, which is your installer, and that's why you're in that loop going round and round doing full-on installs, or just using it as a just a drive to use while you boot it in. But we'll come to back to that later. We'll just do first initial setup. So we've got that sorted. Go into your audio, and of course, because it has AI voice recognition thing on it for Google and stuff on your Android TV, so we want to enable audio input, so it hears us when we talk to it. All right, network at the moment, just easy setup. Just go to bridged adapter and pick the adapter that your laptop's actually running off. Okay, so it's just going to run. But what you want to do is make sure that your laptop is connected to the internet, because it's going to go from VirtualBox through yours, through the internet yours is on. If you haven't got that on, it's not going to work, all right? So you need to have your internet on your main laptop. Okay, so it's fine, leave that. Now USB, this is where you want to add, like if you've got a USB drive of movies, plug that in and then go over to here and go add, and add that USB drive. So that way when you plug it in, when you're on this Android TV, it'll actually detect your USB stick. And the same with your controllers. If you've got PS3 controllers, Xbox, or whatever controllers, all through here. All right, and your keyboard, all that stuff. All right, that's where you want to add it all. Okay, so, and actually I'm going to add this keyboard here. Oops, wrong keyboard. I don't want to add that one. I need one separate on the computer itself. Right. Now you don't have to put that in, so you can just leave your keyboard out and it will automatically, it'll still use it anyway, on the majority of them, once you actually do a screen capture. But, righto, so that's basically it for now. So now we just go down to the OK button. And now we're going to start. And this is going to be your Android TV. Alright, so just press start. And I'll show you what to do on this other lot of installation. Yep. Alright, so here we want to go install Android to the hard disk. Okay, so you can select that option, or you can go into advanced options and you're still going to be able to select hard disk from there as well. Okay, so we can go here. There, auto installation, auto install to a specific hard disk. Okay, so we can do that one. Initially, you could have done the other one on the other page before we turn that. Alright, let's install erase the whole SDA install Android. Yes, we want to do that. So just let that do its thing. Yeah, it could take a couple of minutes, depends how much RAM you've given it and how much CPU. I mean, this one's going pretty quick, but we did give it 10 GB of RAM. But do remember, the more RAM you give that, the less RAM your actual operating system in the background has got to it. Now, the good thing is doing it this way, you can still run your computer and you can still run that through your smart TV. So if you wanted, you could actually do the screen split thing, put one on one and one on the other. You still use both at the same time. So that's nearly done. You see it's going quite quick. Initially, if it's going really slow for you, you might have only picked like 2 GB or 4 GB. And initially, a lot of the Android TV boxes, like I've gone overboard here, giving it 10 GB. There's no need for me to do that. But the good thing is I'm not going to have any lag. And this setup's quite quick for you as to how to watch it. Alright, so yeah, realistically, Android boxes, they come out with like 2 GB and 4 GB. Okay. Alright, so we want to do a reboot. Yep. Oh shit, no, we actually want to go out of there because it's going to go back to that setup. Like I said, we're going to untick it. So we'll just see if it goes to wanting us to set up. If it does, we'll just quickly shut it down, and I'll go on and quickly untick the image CD. We'll just see if this is actually going to load up without asking us to install it again. Well, it seems to be. So that'll take, I mean, as I say, if you've only put 2 GB or a 4 GB, this may take a good few minutes to load the very first initial startup. But this one here shouldn't take too long. Alright, for me that took about a minute and a half. As I say, but I mean, if you've only got a 2 GB RAM that you've allocated or 4 GB, you might be taking a bit longer. But anyway, don't forget here, of course, it's in another language when you first come up. But I can read this language, so that just says select languages. No, just kidding, I don't have a clue what that says. But anyway, click here, and that'll bring up your different languages lists. Okay, and capture, that's to capture the mouse. Alright, so we'll go up to here, click that. Alright, now you want to go down until you find English. Alright. A, B, C, D, E, English. Right, so here you can go United States or Australia or United Kingdom, whichever one. So let's go Australia. And let's go. Initially, I probably should have done America. We might have got some other apps built in. Okay, so let's go. So you can copy your data over from something else if you want, but we're going to set this up as a new device. Okay, seal Wi-Fi connect networks. Connected. Alright, so now it's just going to update everything and go through the process. So we'll come back once this finishes, as it's going to download a few things, so it could take a few minutes. So I'll come back in a second. And of course, if you're going to be watching it from your laptop or TV, whichever way, go up to here. Now initially, if you've got capture enabled in there and you captured your mouse, you'll be finding that you're stuck inside this box. Okay, so you just got to press the right control button on your keyboard, the right hand side one, and the letter C. Okay, and that'll make the mouse come back out again. So what we're going to do here, just go into full screen. Alright. Once this is set up, we're now going to have Android TV. Alright, then you'll get your Google sign-in page. Alright, for the start, you'll end up having it, showing you that thing sending a code to VirtualBox. Just go to try another way and get it to send a text message to your phone. Alright. So now what we're going to do, the very first time it does it, it won't come through. So you want to go to resend it, and then it will come through to your phone. Alright, so once she's all ended up doing the Google sign in and she's installed, it's going to ask you that. So you want to go to allow for everything. Okay. Now here we want to install updates. Well, we're on 154. There's 158 that's out now. Okay. But you might have already got the 158 operating system. So just let it do its thing, do its update, and then once its update's done, it'll just should auto boot in. Okay, now this is the next one you'll get, because of course now, because we're basically like an Android phone. Okay, so you want to go into settings, and you want to allow from unknown sources. Remember, it's only going into your dummy computer. It's in your VirtualBox, so it's not in your main system. Okay, so you want to go down here to allow from unknown sources. All right. Yes, we know that. Okay, so now you just go down to the back thing here, the back button, same as what you do on a phone, and allow. And there you have it. You now have yourself Android TV on your laptop, or as I say, you can now plug this laptop into a non-smart TV, and you've now got yourself a smart TV. You don't have to have the laptop sitting on the couch next to you. As I say, get yourself a wireless keyboard. Actually, what's happened to the lighting here? Right, so you'd get yourself a wee wireless keyboard like this. They've got the mouse tracker and everything on them. The only problem with these here, they don't have the right control button for Control C when you want to get your mouse back. But I mean, you could run a separate mouse. So you could run your the mouse just on this and keep the computer mouse separate from that. So anyway, that's fine. So basically from here, you just go in and now you can select what apps you want to do. So what I normally do is come up to your settings tab up here, just click on that, and you'll see there apps order, and that's the rows, so we'll change them. I'd like to just have them on one row. Hidden applications, so we can show all the hidden applications, which is basically all the other things that are on here. So it'll be calendar and certain things like what you'd expect on a phone. Right, so we're going to go down to the bottom button here. Right, recommendations. Yep, so that's fine. Okay, weather preferences I won't do just yet. So go back out of here, and now we should have some more apps showing up. Okay, there we go. So there's your Play Store. So the first thing you want to get from your Play Store is your Google TV. What I was showing you on that last system. I mean, that last system I had set up, I actually only had that set up on 4 GB or 6 GB of RAM. So I'll probably just dump that out and use this system here. It's actually working really fast. Okay, so for instance, let's just see what happens if we click Play Store. You click it once for it to come up, and then click it again to go in. Alright, so that was pretty instant. Okay, so we can download some games. As I say, you can have a wireless controller rigged up to this. And if you had an i7, well, you might have made this a 4-core. And if you had 16 GB of RAM, you might have made this a 10 GB like I have, or an 8 GB. So if you've got this as an 8 GB and a 4-core, it's just going to be, bloody good. We can, new system for Android TV. As I say, you can have no problem playing games, things like that. Google Play points, no, we don't want anything about that. So basically, just like your normal phone. All right. So you get what apps you use normally. If you use Google Chrome, if you use Firefox, I use Firefox. YouTube, if you want YouTube. And then of course your games. Same as on your phone. Install them all. And another good thing is the system, doing it this way, because we've got the Yarn and i5, you can actually download the emulators from here too. So your PP, SSPP for your PlayStation Portable, your Dolphin emulator for your Wii and your GameCube, things like that, RetroArch for your old-fashioned arcade machines. You can have it now all on the system. So now you can turn your old TV into a smart TV and a game machine TV, all by using your laptop here. Okay. Now, for anyone that's living off grid and this isn't getting plugged into a TV, or it is, but you're wanting to save power, best way with a laptop, especially if it's a bit older, you can actually take the batteries out. If it's one where you can take the battery out, plug it in and run it without the battery, and that's going to conserve your power. So for any of you people living off grid that are worried about power conserving with laptops, the main power drain, of course, it's charging your battery. On high demand laptops, you don't want to do that because they are using the power from the battery and the power from the cord to get the extra they need when they're running graphics cards, all that sort of thing. But if you're just on an old i5, well, or the Core Pro, the 2 Duo ones, things like that, you'll be fine. So anyway, right. So we're back out of here, so I can close that off. Or actually, let's get nap. We'll see how quick it takes to get that napper, shall we? Alright, so we want to get, I'll go for Firefox Nightly. And, or you got Firefox better for Android. So that's another way, preference, whatever your preference normally is, you just go for whatever things you normally download. Okay. Actually, we might just go for this one down here. Alright, won't worry about it all there. Alright, so we go to install. And we'll just see how quick this is doing it with this oven. I've allocated 2 cores to it. But if you're on an i3, how we do the setup for that soon, you're going to be using the whole 2 cores anyway, so there's no difference going to be in speed in your Android device on the different ways I'm going to show you to set it up. Remember, this was just for people anything above i3, so i5s, i7s, things like that. So the good thing is you can make it a 4-core, 6-core, and get it ultra fast. As I say, this one's set up at 2-core of 10 GB. If you were able to do a 4-core with 8 or 10 GB, you're going to have it super fast. And of course, my internet's not very fast here. Well, it's extremely slow, I should say. So that there'll just be the internet connection taking a bit longer. But still, all in all, she's all good. So shall I quickly get a game? We'll just see how it renders. Alright, so just quickly turn the machine off. So we're just going to quickly go in here and let's turn that off there. Okay, just go back into settings. And remember what I was saying, once it's installed, you want to go and turn off in storage there. Where are we? System. Sorry. Okay, so what you want to do is tell it to boot from the hard disk only. Oh yeah, we've done that. Opticals unticked, sweet. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry, I was in the wrong Android one. So this one we just set up. So we want to turn off optical, and we want to turn off floppy. Now we just want it to boot just from the hard disk because we installed it. Remember? Alright, so we go back down to OK, and now we should be able to start, and this should run just as a normal installation would. Well, normal Android box, TV box. Alright. Alright, so here, if you have this trouble, little screen, things like that, okay, all you got to do, okay, we'll just close that one off there. Just come over to here where it says view and go down to scaled. Okay, click on that, and now you'll get your full screen. So just let that load up. Alright, so I've gone through and downloaded quite a few things here. So what we're going to do is actually try it out. We'll quickly do a test. initially I've already pre-tested couple driving games, and they won't actually go. Well, the architecture of a phone, the architecture of this, and we're only using 2-core, so we might have enough RAM but not enough cores for most of the Android games, but we'll be able to do like PSP games in here. And the RetroArch games, they'd work in here, doing it like this. But there is another way to set this up, and that's the same way the people with the i3 can set it up. Of course, instead of actually running through VirtualBox, what you can do is actually make a partition, I'll show you shortly, in your drive, and you can make a multi-boot system, so that way your media player, instead of having a media player and computer going at the same time, you can choose either one, and of course the laptop will think it's whatever operating system, either your Windows opening up or your Linux or whatever, or your Android TV, and then that way you'll actually be using your whole graphics card. You'll be using all the 4 cores and everything to be able to run this. Then you'll probably have better luck with the high-end games. But you see these, I've gone through, so they all different apps you can do. Of course, you got Google TV. Let's click on that. And my Wi-Fi is very slow. So I don't know, let's see if we can start a movie. See what this plays like, shall we? Watch now. Open with. Yeah. Okay, now this needs bloody update. No, this is a scene of how a video works. This is a video through Plex.
That was one of them ghost sounds. Ready? Wait, it's got open here.
So it's got a range of different TV programs and things on it. So this is the Ghost Hunters one.
Oh, that's down there.
So it's playing right. There is a little bit of lag skipping, but as I say, I have got bad reception, so that could be due to that. But as I say, if you wanting better performance, as I say, this won't be any good for gaming, your high-end device games and racing and things like that. You'd better like with RetroArch and up to PSP, PS1.
At one point, we actually had one of the portal doors closed. I saw a shadow.
My favourites to actually use, because you get to use everything anyway. Of course, media player, YouTube you don't have to have. You can use this video downloader. That way you can skip ads, download them, watch them later. And Kodi Media Player instead of Google TV and things. And then get your different documentaries and different things you want to watch. But anyway, so we're going to quickly go into this one. Just quickly give you a quick thing that we'll see how quick it loads, eh? Remember, this is only with the 2 cores, but we've got 8 GB of RAM running. Alright, so far so good. Our first time setup. So yeah, and the only problem is now, with everything that we load, they're all going to have ads, unless we download an ad blocker to help with that, which we can do that. Just, because everything's through Google on this. So what we will do on another video as well, not this one, this one's getting on pretty much, be on another video, we'll actually see if we can de-Google a Android TV device, and we'll make our own custom one. I'll leave that for a different video though. Alright, let's see what happens here if we type something in. Alright, well, I mean, this video has got a bit long, so we might leave it at that. So now you've got yourself your own media player, Google Media Player. turn your old TV into a smart TV, or as I say, if you've just got a laptop and you want to have it as a smart TV as well, right, you're away. So what I'll do is that was through VirtualBox. Since this has gone on a while, I'll actually make a separate video on how to install it directly to your hard drive as another different operating system. So we'll be going and partitioning drive, etc., and then putting the Android TV box. We'll actually install it on the actual main system, so that way it uses all of the CPU and all of the RAM, and we'll see what sort of performance boost we get, and if any games run. As I say, this one at the moment won't play anything like that. Okay. Right. So now, as I say, that's going to be the end of this video. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. There's more handy hints and tips on many things and this as well. As I say, look around the top of this video. There should be a link there if we did go, if you've got the i3, you know, it's anything less than an i5, the way you should set this up. There's a few different ways you can do it. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that video, and of course we will do a video next on how to actually install this directly to your hard drive. I think at some stage there'll be another video where we'll actually try to de-Google the whole thing. We won't have any Google Play apps, no nothing, but we will have still a system to be able to turn an old TV into a smart TV. Still have the main apps that we need to actually be up and running. But yeah, so we're going to do that next on the next few videos, so just keep an eye out on the links around the screen here. Should be a link to one of them, and carry on going from there. And later on in the videos, I'll actually show you how to create a better version of an Android TV box without using Android TV's operating system. So you can still have, you know, turn your old TV into a smart TV, etc., without having all this bloatware. And of course, yeah, whatever malware could be in there and everything in the programming, who would know? So there is another setup as well where we can make our own that doesn't have any of this, but we can still access all this, okay? And access it without it having all the permissions. The only ones that still need the normal permissions would be Messenger. And yeah, that's probably it. Oh, on Google TV, if you're going to use Google TV and that on the other system. Anyway, so that's it for this video. As I say, keep an eye out on some other ones there. They might be helpful for what you're looking for. As I say, the next one coming up is how to actually have this as a multi-boot system. So instead of doing what we've just done and have it so it's a computer and the thing using VirtualBox. Of course, we've had to split it. This has only got 2 CPUs, but we've got 10 GB in here of RAM. So the next video, we're actually going to do a multi-boot. So when the system boots up, you can either choose to use your computer or start using the Android TV. And doing it that way, we're actually going to utilize all the CPUs and all the RAM, and we'll see what sort of performance boost we get, and if we can actually play any high performance games then. Alright, so enjoy, hopefully it's helped you.